always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed.
La 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 la. What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope all is well. We're doing all right, I guess. This is we'll be very disorganized today. It's a little rough. Morning was a little rough, but we all right. We made it. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? We good. We good. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? We good. I'm just waiting for the first response on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Appreciate it. What up, Bree? What up, Jennifer? Thank y'all too. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Even in the YouTube thing, I'm like not as high in the thing like on my other YouTube account. Usually AJ's Rant Room pops right up at the top, and it's not been doing that all week. So I don't know. YouTube, if I did something, let me know. Did I piss y'all off? Did I call somebody the wrong name? I meant it. Yeah. If I said it, I meant it. So I'm not apologizing. But yeah, so today we'll go over the latest on the government shutdown. We're talking about an animal who has a rap sheet that is absolutely ridiculous. But first, we're going to start with, as Inked calls her. No, I'm not going to call her what Ink calls her. We'll start with her. Only Ink can say it. I can't say it. I can't say it. Anyway, I don't know what's wrong with these people. I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm missing here, but just let her talk.
Before the 20th century, there were no income taxes. There were no regulations on business. You could earn as much money as you want, leave 100% of it to your children with no taxes. Right. That's the world they want back. And to get it back, they need society to change. They need people to be less modern. They need people to want fewer things. Go back before.
That's the stupidest shit that I've ever heard. First of all, who wants to pay income taxes, especially when we are discovering what these motherfuckers are doing with our income taxes? Why would I want to give you my money? Why? I'm paying into a system that's not manifesting anything that I actually need, right? And then when I do need it, there's so many rules for me to get it. And then if I fill out the wrong question, or if I make a mistake, or I go to jail for taking my own money, for being dishonest. Wow. Now, let's be clear. There's some people who do the most. If you took $1 million from the government and for nefarious reasons, then yes, there should be some repercussions for that. But y'all up here running people down for a couple $1,000s, that's a bit crazy. So no, yeah, why would you not want that back? Why would you want to pay excessive income taxes? Why would you want to do that, Joy Reid? And who the hell doesn't want to leave an inheritance to their children or their family or whomever that they don't have to pay taxes through the ass for? Why would you not want that, Joy Reid? And it doesn't require that society people don't want nice things, or people don't want. And let's be clear on the regulations. As a small business owner, one of the worst things for me is regulations. You can't do this. You can't do. What has regulations created? Amazon, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, you name it. Major conglomerates that I, the small business owner, I, the mom and pop, cannot compete with. Yes, I would like to get back to the free market. I would like to get back to that. I would like to get back to where it was about competition and the best, who had the best stuff, who had the best products, and also who had the best prices. You know, so if I have a higher quality product and a better price, I should be able to compete, right? But no, I can't compete because I can't have it on your doorstep in 2 hours or the next morning. Right, right. So it's that type of stuff. Yes, regulations have fucked the middle people, not the top people are earning great. And you broke motherfuckers get all the benefits of us overpaying taxes. So I don't understand how that's fascism. I don't understand how that's fascism. You know what was fascism? A great example. Um oh man. How did we get here? A great example of fascism is watching a young man get his neck blown off on live stream and watching people applauding it and justifying political violence. That's fascism. Fascist. Y'all are the actual fascist. But pretty much anything the left is saying, they're probably doing it. They're probably it, right? So Joy Reid wants big government. She wants to be overtaxed. She wants to give half of her, and she's in a higher tax bracket, so she's paying even more taxes, but she wants to pay more taxes. You know, you can volunteer to pay more taxes. You really can. You can send the federal government extra money. Why don't you just tip the federal government since you love them so much, Joy Reid? Just tip them. You can give them all your money. But regulations have choked the middleman, have choked the average business owner. The conglomerates do well under the regulations. Yeah, yeah, but far be it for me to talk from experience, because that's anecdotal. Although stats are basically a collection of anecdotes, but we'll leave that alone too. You know what I'm saying? This woman opens her mouth, and it's just a smorgasbord, a treasure trove of amazingness every time. And so keep talking, Joy Reid. And I'm pretty sure she's gonna be mad because we'll talk about that later in the shutdown conversation. But Donald Trump bringing up Project 2025, I'm pretty sure she's gonna be having a tantrum about that. I'm sure. I'm waiting. I've already seen the liberals. Oh man. Yes, creating our money does create independence, and they definitely don't want that. So, yeah, that's why you have people like what? Hold up. Oh, I thought it went down. My bad. Okay, we're here. Anyway, keep talking, Joy Reid. We love you long time. Moving on. All right. So what is this animal? Um This animal has a very expansive rap sheet. This animal almost killed a police officer. This animal has no business in a free and fair society. Yet and still, he managed to get out well over 80 times. This dude is in this went down in Indianapolis, and his name is Courtney Boosie or Boose. I don't know. Either way, who cares? I generally don't say the names of these animals, but whatever. He's charged with the attempted murder and battery of a police officer, despite having nearly 100, yes, 100 prior cases, arrests. I don't want to hear a damn thing about two-tier justice system. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, it's unfair to blacks. I don't hear anything. I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because how do you get that many chances? How do you get that many chances? I mean, at what point does a judge see the rap sheet and say, we got to keep this person off the streets? I guess when they almost kill a police officer, I guess that's where we stop. That's where we stopped them. So we allowed to get that far out of control. But this animal was taken into custody after stabbing a man at a gas station, leaving the victim in critical condition. The state rep, who's a Republican, since y'all always like to know that. Well, Uncle Boosie, what is it? Boosie, what's his name? Not Boosie Collins, but Uncle Boosie. Isn't he in jail or going to jail or something? Anyway, whatever. That's irrelevant to the story. Um, State Rep Andrew Ireland blasts the Indiana failed justice system, saying, "quote What exactly are we paying for?" Exactly. Yeah, all these taxes and all this money. Yeah, well, what are we paying for? When we appoint these prosecutors and these judges, what are we paying for when we appoint these people? This is what happens when repeat offenders are constantly let loose. This is what happens when you don't put the gavel down and say this person has to be taken off the streets permanently before they do something, because it just gets progressively worse, right? Because clearly they don't have a tribe of people who are affirming them and making sure they get better and making sure that they stay out of trouble, right? He don't have them kind of guardrails in his life, so of course, whatever. And I don't know if mental illness plays a factor, but mental illness is not an excuse. It's not an excuse to do bad things. It's not an excuse to commit crimes. Sorry to break the news to you, but his record goes all the way back to 2002. And in fact, the background here is a list of some of the charges. So I decided to make that the background. Decided to make this. There's a couple other pages, but this is one of the pages with his background on it. So we were able. One person on X was able to find 80 cases in the system using his name, and it was 38 misdemeanor cases, 37 felony cases, and 9 citations. The vast majority of the cases were either dismissed or had a plea deal. Wow. Now I understand the judge can't, but come on. Where is the three strikes rule? Where's something? You get to commit 37 felonies and you either plea or they're dismissed. Marion County is a joke. A lot of counties are a joke. And then this is how you get what happened to Arena in North Carolina on the light rail. This is how you get that. This is how you get a Jordan Neely in on the New York City subway, because there's no. Oh, hold. Dang it. 1 second. So there are no guardrails stopping these folks. So when you have people running amok and then you keep letting them back out into society, do you think they're going to just suddenly wake up one day and say, oh, I'm just going to stop doing dumb shit? No, they're not. They're going to keep doing more. They're going to keep doing more. Why? Is it a rehabilitation thing? Is it a mental health thing? I could make up a bunch of excuses. Again, we all have excuses. We all have a reason why we could be doing something right now. I mean, I like this, but I don't necessarily love doing this every day. There are days where I'm like, give me a moment, give me a moment. But when we keep letting these animals back out in a free society, they're gonna do worse and worse things. And now, unfortunately, a police officer has been hurt because we have a system that allows people like this to reoffend and reoffend and reoffend with no repercussions. I mean, if it's a mental institution, an insane asylum, what is it? Like some sort of 51, I don't know. But in the world amongst us, no, should not be. Should not be. This should not be out in a free society. Absolutely not. And if that police officer was your child or your cousin or your brother or your friend or whatever, your tune would be different. This has nothing to do with race. This has everything to do with problems. Problem people with terrible upbringings, more than likely, and no tribe. And I'm done making excuses. And protecting criminality is never the way. So I'll follow up on this and keep y'all posted. But I think this might be the one that actually puts his ass behind bars for a considerable amount of time. But to be able to offend 80 times is really crazy. Oh, yeah, that's right. That is absolutely right. Y'all raise money for these people. Y'all justify their behavior, this, that, the third. And then we're just supposed to sit back and shut up and just allow you to abuse us and wheel and deal us and then gaslight us like y'all doing right now, which we're about to talk about. And we'll get back to that right after this short break.
Look, Chuck and I disagreed as it relates to the approach and outcome.
I think there is a deep sense of outrage and betrayal. And this is not just about progressive Democrats. This is across the board, the entire party.
I myself don't give away anything for nothing. And I think that's what happened the other day.
He is not in his prime. Schumer's own party is so mad at him that he had to cancel his own book tour.
It may be time for the Senate Democrats to pick new leadership.
It is absolutely unacceptable for the Democrat Party to play politics with the lives of the American people. It is absolutely ridiculous to gaslight the American people on both sides. They're gaslighting their own constituents who are then running to us screaming and yelling the talking points, right? That is the Republicans' fault. No, the Republicans have, for the most part, always voted to keep the government open, even when they were in their minority. So this is not a Republican thing. This is y'all, And then you have these idiots. Oh, well, y'all have the majority. Why didn't y'all pass it? We needed 60. You need 60 in the Senate to get this CR through. Only 2 Democrats cross party lines reached across the aisle. Only 2. So we didn't have enough votes. We got to 55. So we couldn't get 5 other Democrats because the leader of the Democrat Party is a bitch. He's scared. Remember, he stood up when it came to the one big beautiful bill. He stood up for that. And then because people are mad at him and he's afraid he's going to get primaried, primary me then. What the hell? I mean, if what I'm doing is that bad, primary me and let the people choose. If I'm that bad, because y'all aren't the ones who are voting for me. I go to New York. I talk to New York. Chuck Schumer is New York. So he goes to the people of New York. And if the people of New York don't want him because of this, then so be it. Put your little radical in there. The Democrat Party is dead. dead, 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 gone. Now, Democrat Party has always been problematic. It's always had its issues. It's always, fallen short. It's always wanted big government. But there was a time not too long ago where you could reach across the aisle and have the hard conversation, because ultimately what both parties did want was it had to do with Americans, right? Now you have a party that is pro-America, and then you have another party that's pro-illegal immigration, placating to less than 1% of the population, which they're trying to grow by influencing more people to become transgendered, only to realize on the back end that you made a mistake. Because we're not treating the problem, we're exacerbating the mental illness. This is what we're dealing with in 2025 with the Democrat Party. That's why moderate Democrats are like, what the hell is this party? I don't recognize it anymore. And when people leave, the main thing they say, I didn't leave the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party left me. They left me. They left me and my values hanging. Democrats in 2025 do not like diversity of thought. You can't have an idea that does not go along to get along. You can't have any dissension in the party. Everybody has to think the same, believe the same, vote the same, act the same. It's absolutely 100% ridiculous at this point. This should have never happened. This shutdown was totally avoidable. It is not comparable. And let's keep in mind, this is Trump's second shutdown. Let's keep in mind that Democrats also forced the hand of the government in, I believe, 2013. When was oh God, let me get the year of this. What year was Obamacare? What year was that? 2013. To force the hand of the government. They shut down the government for that. And then remember Nancy Pelosi, we don't know what's in the bill, but let's just get it through and then we'll figure it out later. And I didn't know for years that I was paying a penalty for not having insurance or whatever insurance I was supposed to have. I don't know. I didn't even realize it. But it's the stupidity like that, and it's right in the same vein. But this is literally the same damn continuance that they filed 13 times under the Biden administration. They all voted for it. Now, all of a sudden, we can't have more time. Both parties can't have more time to figure out the new budget, to figure out how to go forward, right? And keep negotiating for 7 more weeks, until into November. But nobody wants to have that conversation. Everybody wants to just act like rogue, crazy people. Political theater. It's all about the show. It's all about the show, baby. Get the camera in my face so I can spill my talking points to my constituents and to the Democrats at large. The Democrat Party is now run by radicals. And as soon as y'all elect that sand nigga in New York, it's over. The Democrat Party has officially become a bunch of violent, rogue psychopaths. And the fact that New Yorkers are going along with that, I'm, as a former New Yorker, as a born and raised New Yorker, to see my city, my hometown be so dumb, oh my goodness. New York ain't never been the smartest, but they ain't never been this dumb. You keep voting for things that make your life worse. So you go from Bill de Blasio to Eric Adams to socialism. Yeah, we're good. We're good. And I don't want to hear anything about I'm using scare tactics when I talk about Muslims. I have Muslims in my family. I'm not saying all Muslims are bad, because not all Muslims are bad. But these ones, like when you look at this Mamdani person, he is literally from privilege. He's a Nepo baby. He doesn't come from the dirt, And so for him to sit up here and advocate for something he himself has never lived is ridiculous. For him to require more government regulation in your lives, that should be like a hell no, an absolute hell no. Why would I want government ran grocery stores? So now what do bodega owners in New York do? Are they going to now have to report to the federal government, like check in, like you got to have one type of bread, like how does that work? But this is why it's important to watch these debates. I believe the first one is on the 16th and the second one is the week after, I believe. or 2 weeks, a week or two after. Anyway, yeah, where this party has gone off the rails. This is not the Democrat Party of yesterday. Many old school Democrats are just not feeling it. And Chuck Schumer used to be and was up until when was the one big beautiful bill passed? A few months ago. Up until a few months ago, you could negotiate with Chuck Schumer. You know, he was open to having a conversation across the aisle. Now, because he's scared and he has no balls and he doesn't want to stand up to the radicals in his party, he's caving and ruining the lives of the American people. But you know, we're now having conversations about permanent layoffs because we can't sustain this. What do you think is going to happen? This doesn't affect them. They are still going to get paid. They get to vote on their own salaries. That is ridiculous to me that they get to vote on their own salary, their own bonuses, their own pay raises. Everyone would love that privilege. But anyway, here's Senator Kennedy laying it out on the floor.
Now, we've had a few shutdowns before, and every shutdown is different, but most shutdowns are a combination of both policy and politics in varying degrees. This shutdown, in terms of policy, makes absolutely no sense.
None.
What we have proposed to our Democratic colleagues and the minority leader, Senator Schumer, is to make no changes to the current budget. We just want to continue the current budget and keep government open until just before Thanksgiving to give us more time to negotiate a permanent budget. We did that many times when President Biden was president and when the Democrats had the majority. In fact, we did it 13 times. Not only have Republicans done it, but Democrats have routinely done it. But this time, the Democrats have said, no. We want more. And you may be thinking, okay, that's reasonable. What do you want? Well, it's not reasonable. In effect, what the Democrats are saying to us is that we're going to close government unless you Republicans agree to make it bigger. We don't want the status quo. We want you to commit to spending $1.5 trillion more than you're spending now. And we, the Democrats are saying, are going to tell you how to spend it.
These are the same Democrats who, when the one big beautiful bill was first proposed, before any revisions, oh, it's going to create all this debt. Oh, it's going to raise the spending. All of that, right? Scare. And then you go do the very damn thing you claim Donald Trump was threatening, which then ended up to be a lie. Because once these mofos file their taxes next year and realize, oh my God, there's so many incentives in this for us, they're going to shut up. But but to also say that he was going to attack Medicare and Medicaid, because he wants you to earn it if you're able-bodied. First of all, if you're able-bodied, why the hell are you even on Medicaid? Let's just start there. But again, I had this whole conversation yesterday about healthcare and how we attack healthcare from the wrong angle. We need to attack the cost first. The greed has to be stripped out. This is why free markets are important. When you have free market healthcare, different, not the same. They're not charging you $500 for an aspirin. But when you have greedy people involved, big business, big government involved in your healthcare, the quality is shit and the cost is ridiculous. But nobody wants to have that conversation. It's always about the emotions of it. I don't care about your emotions. I don't care. I don't want government-funded healthcare. Whenever the government's involved, the quality is terrible. I have a standard. Like Pete Hegseth don't want fat soldiers. I don't want horrible doctors. If God forbid I need an operation, I don't want to go into it not trusting the person who's about to cut me open. No. But, y'all just keep settling. We need more government. We need more regulations. We need more this and that. No. Y'all are literally the ones trying to raise the the spending, trying to raise spending. And then the stuff you want to raise it for. Absolute trash. Absolute trash. I don't give a damn about PBS. No, who the freak watches PBS anymore? In a YouTube world, who's watching PBS? Nobody. Absolutely nobody is watching PBS in this world today. No one. NPR, who cares? Who cares? With all of the options we have today. Now, do I believe there are too many options? I don't think there could be too many options, but I do believe there should be a lot of people should be forced to be more honest about the content they're producing and that it's rooted in the truth, right? I do believe that, right? And then you have these people who call themselves politicians and journalists, and they're really activists, and that's what the Democrat Party has become. It's become rooted in activism and emotionalism, and now social issues run our government. And so when you have emotions running things, you're going to make bad decisions every time, and this was terrible. Because you literally can't justify how you supported this 13 times in the past. The same provision, no changes, the same continuance, nothing changed. Nothing partisan was put in there. Republicans didn't add anything. They just said, can we extend this out 7 weeks so we can continue to negotiate? But nobody want to have that conversation. Everybody want to have the conversation about feelings and transgendered people. I don't care if you're transgendered. Most people don't care if you're transgendered. But if you want to chop your dick off, you should be able to pay for it. Why do taxpayers got to pay for your surgery, your life choices? If you want to do that to your body, go do it. Have at it. Live your best life. We don't care. But when you start infringing and saying, well, you pay taxes to do this. No, I pay taxes because I want roads to be fine, and I want the DMV to do what I need it to do. I don't pay taxes so that transgendered people can have surgeries. That's not why I pay taxes. And the military wastes money. Yeah. Great. We could have that conversation, but that's not what the Democrats are advocating for right now, right? This was a continuance of the same budget we had been operating under the Biden administration. The same thing, same budget. All of a sudden, the budget's not good enough. This has nothing to do with the budget. This has everything to do with the president. We don't like the president. We're in our feelings because our Indian mammy didn't win the election. That's why. That's our problem right now. And so because Kamala Harris did not get elected president, we're just going to make everyone's life hell. Because that's the Democrats' MO. That's literally how they operate. I mean, I could show you my DMs. The people are psycho. They crazy. But it's the same damn thing. But here's Chris Cuomo. Wait, do I want to do Chris Cuomo? Oh, no. I want to do... So Donald Trump dropped this on Truth Social, and I know where people are going to go with this. I know where people are going to go with this. So he said, I have a meeting today with Russ Vought. I think I said his name right. He is of Project 2025 fame to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut, and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. They are not stupid people. So maybe this is their way of wanting to quietly and quickly make America great again. Now, we all know what people are going to latch on to. Project 2025. Oh. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. All you had to do was get us 5 senators to say yes. And Chuck Schumer could have done that. He could have been one of them. You could have gave us 5 senators, could have got us 5 senators to give us a yay so we can extend this out 7 weeks, and then we can keep fighting over the budget and how we want to rectify things and how we want things to move. But no. We're going to stop it right now because we're going to try to force your hand. Okay, then we'll scrap all of your agencies. See how that works? Moving on. Genius. Donald Trump's playing 5D chess. Y'all are up here playing checkers. Y'all not even playing checkers. I don't even know what y'all playing. Y'all playing stupid. That's what y'all playing. But here's Chris Cuomo. This was back in June, actually. And this is basically what I've been saying the whole time, too. The Democrat Party is going down this radical thing. It's going to take a few years, but they're going to slowly start to take over the party. And once they start to take over the party, it's going to be a totally different Democrat Party. And on top of that, the reason why they're doing this, because they're not Democrats. They're not Democrats. These people need their own party, but they don't want to work for it. So they rather go into a party that already has the budget, the connections, everything. I'd rather just infiltrate this party and then radicalize it because it's already has everything built in already. We don't have to work for anything, right? Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Chris.
How do you keep them from having the nuke? Impeach Trump is the opposite of having a better idea.
Right.
You're killing your party. You're killing your party. And look, I hope it works out for you. I hope you guys splinter off and become, whatever.
I think this is
whatever you really are, because you're not a capitalist and you're not a Democrat. And, you could say, well, what do you know? I was raised by a real one. I was raised by a real one. Go ahead and criticize Mario Cuomo. What's going to be your biggest insult? That he spawned me and Andrew? Is that going to be the best you have? Because you ain't shit compared to him.
Preach.
Not in terms of intelligence, not in terms of success, not in terms of pedigree, not in terms of philosophy, not in terms of mission, not in terms of eloquence, not in terms of charisma, not in terms of anything. Certainly not electability.
I don't think Chris Cuomo ever got me Holy Ghost fired out before. We need to hear that again. Because I don't really know Mario Cuomo when he was governor because I was a child, but I don't remember a lot of bad things said about
by a real one. I was raised by a real one. Go ahead and criticize Mario Cuomo. What's going to be your biggest insult? That he spawned me and Andrew? Is that going to be the best you have? Because you ain't shit compared to him.
Facts.
Not in terms of intelligence, not in terms of success, not in terms of pedigree, not in terms of philosophy, not in terms of mission, not in terms of eloquence, not in terms of charisma, not in terms of anything. Certainly not electability.
Facts.
You are killing your party because you are not a real one.
Facts.
Because you're doing what's good for you in a vacuum with your little social media following. You're no different than a pod bro. And you're killing your party. And Democrats better wake the fuck up and realize that you're better than this. Be with the 80, not the 20.
Facts.
Okay?
Yeah, but they won't see it till it's too late. And what they're going to do, they're going to elect the sand nigga. And after they elect the sand nigga, and about 2 years in, they're going to regret it. And then we're just going to sit back and say, I told you so. So now when they're forcing you to pray to Mecca 5 times a day, or when you hear that, and you got to go. And when, because who doesn't like the concept of free buses and free daycare and all of this stuff? But the one thing people never question is who's paying for it, because this fantasy that billionaires and millionaires in New York are going to magically start paying all these taxes. They already pay enough. They pay their fair share of taxes. You're just lazy and broke and greedy, and you don't want to build anything. That's the problem here. And yeah, I understand there are a lot of regulations in the way, which is why Joy Reid is making her rounds trying to downplay the effects of regulation on the average on the small business owner like myself. This is going to be a very interesting year, especially leading up to the midterms. And these Democrats are going to get more radical. They're going to get more crazy. The violence is going to continue to rise. They can continue to blame MAGA for violence against MAGA, because that makes sense. Right. Okay. So, yeah, they're just going to continue to blame the wrong people and be annoying and outrageous and delusional and stupid. But like Joy Reid, there's another person in Congress who should have been removed long ago and sent back to her mud hut.
And so the idea that this is a white nation that needs to be preserved is a fascinatingly disgusting view, because this country is one for the many.
I can't stand these musty people. I can't stand them because you know that this woman's never read the Constitution. She's never read it. You can tell by how she speaks. She's never had a debate. Her, AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna, they never go into the lion's den. They never go where they're going to be challenged. They go where the questions are going to be softball, and they can just talk all the foo-la-la that they want to talk, and nobody's going to push back, and nobody's going to say, well, what about? Nobody's going to do that. They're never going to go into those types of spaces. You know, just like, remember when Kamala Harris ran, it took her forever to get to Fox News, and she had one interview on Fox News and made a complete ass of herself. Showed just how emotional and crazy she was. That's literally what she did in that Brett Barr interview. On top of that, being late to the interview and then rushing Brett Barr, you were late. How you gonna be late and then rush me? That's very interesting. But these people, she can't run for a national office. Neither can AOC, because they can't handle the pressure. They have never had to work for anything. They just saw vulnerability in their state, and they took advantage of it. You saw a vulnerable seat that you didn't have to do too much to get. You got the seat, and now you can sit there and build your social media following, make all this money, and then if you ever should leave Congress, you now have a name and a brand, and you can go run with that and get endorsement deals and all of that good stuff. But this is part of the problem. Now, we've all but proven that she married her brother so he could become a citizen, and she's still a sitting congresswoman. How is that still a thing? If she was a Republican, same pedigree, same background, came from a mud hut in the middle of nowhere and landed in the United States on a raft and decided, oh, I want to be a Republican, and then it was discovered that she married her brother, her ass would be back in, where's she from? Somalia, wherever the fuck she's from. She would be back there right now. There wouldn't even be a question. There wouldn't be a question about it. But these are the radicals that are coming through this party. You know, these are the radicals that are going to continue to dominate. They don't dominate yet, but it's a process. It's slow and methodical. It's like Martin Luther King's dream, because his dream wasn't really to free black people. It was to enslave black people to the government, which they succeeded in. And then so this is meticulous. You know, it's very strategic. It's year by year, election by election, slowly and slowly. And then look, when we get to 2032, you will see exactly what I'm saying right now today. By the time we get to 2032, 2028, we'll see it, because we've been seeing it. We saw it in the last election. We saw it a little bit before, but it gets progressively worse, right? It gets more, the rhetoric gets more, it becomes more, right? And then more people like her are going to pop up. But, you know, only time will prove me right, as it has many, many times. So only time will prove me right. And when it does, I don't hear nothing. I don't hear no slow singing, no flower bringing when the burglar alarm starts ringing. Because once y'all elect that Mom Dami person, it's over. The Democrat Party is officially dead. The Democrat Party as we know it is dead. You're no longer pro-America, because even regardless of your troubled past, you know, slavery, Jim Crow, black codes, all that stuff, in spite of your troubled past, Democrat Party, at the very least, you were never pro-illegal immigration, right? We knew that. We could look at debates with Hillary Clinton from not too long ago. Y'all were never pro-illegals. Never, ever, right? We all, Republicans and Democrats alike, we use illegals, you know, as cheap labor. We all do. You know, I've gone to Home Depot a few times, you know. Help me move. But but other than that, we weren't like pro, like keep the criminals here and let's fight. Let's make up stories about call this the Maryland the Abrego dude, calling him a Maryland father. This is a wife beater, a drug trafficker, and a legal alien. He does not belong here. These are not the types of people we want here. And then these liberals who claim, oh, y'all love the illegals, and why the fuck didn't you help them get their citizenship? The ones that work for you and in your vicinity, the ones that are in your communities, why didn't you help them get their citizenships? Oh, right. Because you wanted to continue to use them for $3 labor. That's why. The Democrat Party is dead. You can point out their hypocrisies from a mile away. And then I love this morning. I came across.
A lot of you have been talking tonight about.
Hold on. Wait. All right, cool. So Al Franken, because I love when these people tweet and then they get proven wrong right there. So he's like, is J.D. Vance a liar or just woefully ignorant when claiming that Democrats want to give health care benefits to undocumented immigrants and then boom?
A lot of you have been talking tonight about these government health care plans that you've proposed in one form or another. This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay, let me start with you, Mayor Buttigieg. Why?
So, where's the lie? This was y'all presidential primary debate. This is not AI. Y'all said this in real time. I remember this debate. And I said, are you kidding me? And then some of them hesitated because they were like, is this the thing that we're supposed to do? Because they know it's wrong. The ones that look at the ones that hesitated. Let's go.
A lot of you have been talking tonight about. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Nah, I don't know who that first person is. Is that Klobuchar? I don't know who that first person is that raised their hands. But everyone else hesitated. And then look at Joe Biden. Don't even know where the fuck he is at this point, but he's there on the stage too. And then you had Pete Booty Butt is up there too, and the Asian is up there. And I think Cory Booker's up there. But everyone hesitated, right? Oh. Oh, okay. I guess let's just do it. Let's just do it because I don't want any troubles. And I think Tulsi Gabbard's up there. So we got to call Tulsi Gabbard out on that because I think she was in this debate, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Let me do a little zoom in here. Where are we? Where's the video? Oh, no. Recently saved. Wait, where is it? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. All right, hold on. Let me see if Tulsi Gabbard's on this stage. I think she was. Oh, that's Klobuchar. Hold on. No, I don't think she's up there, but I do believe she did talk about giving healthcare to. But of course, people have the prerogative to change their mind and their position on things as they grow as people. But I'm just saying, we got to make sure Tulsi has changed her position before we try to get her into any elected office, if that's what she chooses to do after her stint as the director of national intelligence. But anyway, this is the proof right here, Al Franken. Mr. Frank, this is the proof. Y'all have been this way since this was the 2020 election, correct? So this was 2019. So this is not that far in the past. So y'all are already talking this rubble already. I think that first person is Kamala Harris. But anyway, you are the party of funding illegal immigrants. You're the ones attacking ICE agents, and then you're mad because because ICE agents had to start wearing masks because you animals were doxing them. And now you're putting their children at risk. You're putting their families at risk. You're putting their spouses at risk. And you're sitting here telling me that the problem is them wearing a mask. No, it's you being anti-American while vowing to protect and serve the people. You are elected officials. You are lawmakers. You put your hand on the Bible or Quran or whatever you want to put it on, and you take an oath. This is the most anti-constitution shit that I've ever seen. Nowhere in our constitution does it say give health care to mongrels who don't belong in our nation. Every country in the world has its own protocol to become a citizen. We all know my story about Tanzania. Now, either you can agree with it or you can disagree with it. Either way, that's their process. And you can't come into town and declare, well, I'm going to just do it however the hell I want to do it. That's not how that works. So if you did it the wrong way, go back and do it the right way. And if you're a criminal, get the fuck out forever. We don't want you here. I don't know why this is so difficult. I don't know why this is so difficult, people. But, you know, I'm just AJ. I'm just AJ. And then also because also what we're hearing. So this was the day before the shutdown. And this is what was being reported. And it was factual. This is what they were asking for. So I don't hear anything about, oh, we're making it up, and then, oh, you know, we you know, that's not what it really was. It was just like, oh, no, you can't remix it now. You can't remix it now. You done put it out there. Oh, well, what you heard is not really what you heard. What you read is not really what you read. It really meant this. Yeah. Yeah. Hakeem Jeffries and the rest of y'all are dumb. Y'all are annoying. Y'all are. Y'all know the word I want to use. And I don't have Tony here to type it. I don't have Tony here to type it. But let's and so just so we drive this home, so people not thinking, oh, I'm being a conspiracy theorist. I made up everything that I just said. I'm lying about the Democrats, stalling for these things and things of that nature. I want the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who cannot lie, really. He can't sit up here and lie, because literally he's a leader. He has a very strong responsibility for things. So I just want to thank you. Oh, look at Lumberjack filling in for Tony. Thank you. Finish typing. I need the G. I need the G. I need the O, and I need the T. Yes. That's what I need. Oh, and make it a plural. Put an S on it. Anyway, here's Mike Johnson.
It's easy to articulate. I'll just point out that today we're here on the west front of the Capitol. We're overlooking the National Mall. It's a beautiful sight that a lot of the American people will not be able to experience today. On a normal day, of course, you have tens of thousands of visitors here, family, you have school groups.
Wait, this is the wrong video. This is the wrong video. This is the one from the date. This is from yesterday. There was one today that I was supposed to have. I guess I didn't upload it. Maybe that's it. Hold on. Let me see if I actually downloaded it. No, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, well. Ladies, God is trying to tell you something. Oh, wait, here it is. Let me try to upload it right quick. Hold on. All this political theater, or do I have it already? No, I don't have it already. Upload. Gimme. Hurry up. I don't know how MacBook upgrades and then gets slower. Like, how? Come on. Thank you. Gimme. All right, so this video is 30 seconds, right? 30 something seconds long. Gimme. I think it's this one. Is it 37 seconds? Yes, that's it. That's it right there. Open. All right, it's uploading. It'll take about a minute to upload. Anyway, so yeah, so we can not say that AJ is up here making this up. He's because I'm not right wing by any stretch of the imagination. I'm actually pretty center. And I like to see the whole view. I like to see the whole view. right? But yeah, a lot of people will say I'm on the right, and I guess I am to a degree, but I'm not like one of these radical, the blinders over my eyes. I can't ever I call out the right in a moment.
Everybody wants to know, why would he do that? Because, gosh, Chuck Schumer's the leader of the Democrats. He's been in Washington for decades, and he's always gone out and given these long speeches about how government shutdowns are dangerous and selfish and destructive. Well, they still are, but he's changed his tune. Why? And here's the simple fact. Vice President J.D. Vance said it very clearly today. I've been saying it on interviews. Chuck Schumer is scared of his own shadow. He's afraid that AOC and the far left, base of his party is going to challenge him in his next Senate race. And so he has to do this for selfish reasons to show that he's fighting so he doesn't get challenged from his far left.
So there you have it. It's been confirmed. And I just want to close with the 44 Democrats who, this is about 2 minutes, but it's worth calling out all 44 of them by name and making it clear that what they did was messed up. But before we go, if you would like to support the channel, you can go to AJsRANTroom.com. Thank you very much. That's AJsRANTroom.com. We got this beautiful Freedom hoodie. It's a tribute to Charlie Kirk. You can go there and purchase that. I also have a new, it's called the Watercolor American Flag hoodie, but I don't have it in the system today. But so yeah, just that little housekeeping. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Appreciate it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And that's it. If you'd like to support the channel, that's how you can support the channel. And here are the 44 Democrats who shut down the government.
Donna's gonna make the country better than you can remember. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Hey, Macarena. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Donna's gonna make the country better than you can remember. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Hey, Macarena. When I dance, I do the Macarena. Shake it on my trailer campaign now. They all love me, cause I'm Dante, and every good American wants me. Votes for me, Joe just beat on himself the third time this week. Votes for me, Joe just beat on himself the third time this week. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Donna's gonna make the country better than you can remember. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Hey, Macarena. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Donna's gonna make the country better than you can remember. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Hey, Macarena. Macarena, 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 hey, Macarena. Donna's gonna make the country better than you can remember. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Hey, Macarena. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Donna's gonna make the country better than you can remember. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Hey, Macarena. When I dance, I do the Macarena. Shake it on my trailer campaign now. They all love me, cause I'm Dante, and every good American wants me. Votes for me, Joe just beat on himself the third time this week. Votes for me, Joe just beat on himself the third time this week. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Donna's gonna make the country better than you can remember. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Hey, Macarena. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Donna's gonna make the country better than you can remember. Campbell is never gonna beat me in November. Hey, Macarena. Macarena, Macarena, Macarena.